Yes, today we are going to discuss about this structure of DBMS. Here, database structure architecture. We are going to see this data structure. It refers to the actual implementation of the data type and offers a way of storing data in an efficient manner. Here, data structure is an outcome of application for certain tools and techniques used to connect data items within records and between records, within the records and between the records of same file, or we can also access of different files. Yes, here the typical structure of DBMS is based on the relational data model, and you're having I can show this architecture of application interface used by nav users, application programs created by application programmers, right? Yeah. Query tools used by sophisticated users and administration tools used by database administrator. The lowest part of the architecture is for disk storage, and the middle two parts are called as query processor as well as the storage manager as the important components of this database structure. Yeah, this is of the architecture of the database. The topmost layer as nav users, application programmer, sophisticated users, and the database administrator, right? Yeah. Here having the link with in application interfaces, application programs, and for the sophisticated users have the query tools, and the database administrator having administration tools. Yes, here having of this compiler and linker and DML queries, DDL interpreters, and you're having of this application program object code and DML compiler and the organizer, and this query evaluation engine. The query evaluation engine. These are having of buffer manager, file manager, and authorization and integrity manager. You're having of this transaction manager. This is called as query processor. This is called as the query processor, and this is called as the storage manager. These are the two middle parts having in this architecture. This is of a disk storage having this uh, yeah, data indices and the data dictionary statistical data that may having of this four different types: disk storage, data indices, and data dictionary. And having that interlinked with all those, here data and the indices were having this buffer manager and the file manager. Coming to the data dictionary, it has authorization and integrity manager. And this is of statistical data is linked with the DML directly linked with the DML query compiler and the organizer. These of the architecture design of this data structure. Yeah, let's see what is meant by query processor. It is an interactive query processor that helps to database system to simplify and facilitate access to data. It consists of DDL. DDL it stands for data definition language. It is an interpreter, and DML is of data manipulation language. It is of compiler using for the compiler and query evaluation engine. DDL and the DML. There are some functionalities and component for this query processor here: DDL, DML. DDL is used in the interpreter, used as for interpreter, and DML is used as for compiler. DDL is this is a basically a translator which translates the DDL statements into data dictionaries. DDL statements into data dictionaries. And DML, it compiler, it translates that DML statement query language into evaluation plan. This plan consists of the instructions which query evaluation engine understands. And you're having query evaluation engine is it's execute the low level instructions generated by the DML compiler. When a user issues a query or the parsed query is presented to a query optimizer, which uses information about and how the data is stored to produce an efficient execution plan for evaluating the query. An execution plan is a blueprint of evaluating a query. It is evaluated by using of this query evaluation engine. Clear? Yes. And you're having storage manager. Storage manager is a component of database system that provides interface between the low level data stored in the database and the application programs and queries submitted to the system. This is the responsible for storing, retrieving and updating data in the database. This storage manager components include like authorization and integrity manager, transaction manager, file manager, and the buffer manager. Let's see what is mean this authorization and integrity manager. It validates the users who want to access the data and test for integrity constraints. Yes, and the next one, transaction manager, is it ensures that database remains inconsistent despite of system failures and concurrent transaction execution proceeds without conflicting. Yeah. And the next one, file manager. It is of manages allocation of space. Yes, the next one is file manager. It manages allocation of space on disk storage and it is used for the representation of the information on disk. And here buffer manager, it manages the fetching of the data from disk storage into main memory. And this buffer manager also decides that what data to catch or in main memory. Like buffer manager is a crucial part of this database system. Here storage manager implements several data structures such as data files, data dictionary, and indices. Data files is like it is used for the storing database itself, and the data dictionary is used for storing metadata, particularly schema of database. And indices are used to provide fast access to data items present in the database. This is of the query processor and the storage manager. These are the two main parts having in the middle part of this architecture, database architecture. For more videos on this database management system, please subscribe my channel Metam IT Solutions.